That's all I can say is that we're trying to get things together. So what's going on, y'all? We are on another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. The Bulls take on the Wolves today for the team's final preseason game. Can the Chicago Bulls have some success? Can they do that against the Minnesota Timberwolves? Finish the preseason strong. This has been a preseason where, Modest Buzelis has looked really good. Ayo Dosunmu's looked really good as well. And now the question becomes, can they continue it going? And that's what we're here to answer today. But like I said, I'm dealing with some stuff. This is new to me. I'm using a completely different software at this point in time. We're using OBS. I've moved over and moved away from using Restream. So I'm just trying to test it out today. I figured get some kinks out before we officially start the season and see how that goes. But OBS is new to me. I'm not familiar with it. I haven't used it a whole lot before. I used to use it for Locked On Bulls, but we haven't used it a lot other than that. But things seem to be going well. Please let me know if things aren't going quite the way that they need to go. If things look weird, because we can definitely switch over and we can use a different software if need be. So don't hesitate to let me know if that ends up being the case, if it is something that we need to switch from. I already see that there's a weird overlay over on the YouTube side that I got to figure out where that's coming from. But other than that, I feel like things are looking pretty good. I feel like things look pretty solid. But let me pull up the chat doc and see how the chat's going so I can say interacting with you guys during all of this. YouTube live control panel. What the fuck is that? I have no idea what that is. So let me know how this is looking, y'all. I'm trying to figure this out. Bear with me. When I switch to new stuff, sometimes it sends me for an absolute loop. Where did my chat window go? Okay. I think things are looking good. I think things are going good. I think, at least, right? I'm not saying that they are for 100%, but I think they're going better than what I expected, at least. So there's that of it. But all right, y'all, let's get back focused. Let's get back on track here. The Chicago Bulls taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is the last preseason game for the Bulls. And really what I'm hoping for and what I'm really wanting to see more than anything in this game for the Chicago Bulls is just Modest continue looking good. Things just continue working well for this team. Of course, we're missing a lot of players. Jalen Smith is actually starting tonight, so they're not starting Patrick Williams. So there's that part of it. They got to figure out some stuff there. But we've had a lot of injuries as this season has gone on, right? And it's raised its own challenges. It's got us to look at some people that we may have not seen in some other cases, stuff like that. But overall, I think that this preseason has been an overall success for the Chicago Bulls in the sense that Modest looks good. That was one of the biggest questions that I think most Bulls fans were looking for and hoping for, is that Modest looked like he was ready to take that next step. And for what it's worth, Modest looks ready to go. I don't know anybody who would say really anything else when it comes to Modest. You guys may know I host Locked On NBA as well, and that's a national NBA show. And Modest comes up a lot on that show, not because I bring him up, but because people really do look at Modest as the Bulls' next great chance at a great player. One of my co-hosts over there, Matt Moore, who's actually one of the guys that hosts the Nuggets, Locked On Nuggets, is head over heels for Modest Buzelis, right? So there you go on that one. Okoro's out. For those who's asking who's out, Isaac Okoro is not in the game today for the Chicago Bulls, so there is that part. He's out, so that opened up a starting spot. And so the Bulls are going to be playing big today. Modest is moving to the 3. You're going to be having Jalen Smith at the 4 and Nikola Vucevic at the 5. So remember we talked about earlier in the preseason when Billy Donovan said that there's a more openness now to playing double big lineups. That's a pretty big change for somebody like Billy Donovan, who hasn't typically really done that a whole lot and hasn't always wanted to, use double big lineups as much as Bulls fans want to see him. And I think that that's something that you could definitely see. And if there is this new openness from Billy Donovan to really run a double big lineup, I think that that's going to open up a lot for the Bulls, right? That's going to open up, matching up with some of the other teams, specifically in the Eastern Conference as well, that have some pretty large matchups and some lineups. And so that's the thing now that you're looking for from the Bulls. Can they do that? And how consistently are they going to be trying to play those lineups? That's another question that you have here for this team. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think that it says a lot that Jalen, who hasn't even played very good, like Jalen Smith hasn't played very well at all, And they're going to that rather than playing Modest and Paul together. Now, it could be because Patrick Williams, he's the only other guy that could back up both forward spots with Julian Phillips being out. Dalen can play the 3, but I wouldn't want to see Dalen at the 4. So maybe that's the thought process behind it, because you can play, P. Will can back up either Modest or Jalen Smith in that lineup, whereas Jalen couldn't back up either one. So you're keeping some flexibility. Maybe that's the way that they're looking at it. So not to knock P. Will, maybe it's just to keep the balance going, and maybe that's the case of what they're looking for to try to do there. So, if that's it, then cool, great, fine, dandy. It is what it is. So sorry, y'all, I'm just checking the streams everywhere because, like I said, I am still getting used to using OBS, but apparently this is what we should be using to stream anyway. And I really haven't lost anything. It's just knowing where everything is kind of what's causing me some strife right now. I'm losing my mind, not knowing where everything is. It's honestly driving me crazy. So I'm just going to be 100% honest with y'all. It's killing me right now because I don't know where everything is, but I'm trying to find it. Crenshaw Mafia says, hit the like button. Appreciate that. V-Dog says, what's the word, brother? Love the quote from Donovan just a little earlier today. He said, I have to be flexible as the head coach to not have a set starting rotation going into games. You got to adjust lineups on the fly. Yeah, I mean, and that wasn't even earlier today. That was 34 minutes ago. So, for Billy, if Billy has, is going to look at the situation game by game and let that determine what his starting lineup is going to be, I mean, that could mean that you could look at that on the negative light and say, well, he's not necessarily happy with Okoro and his performance in preseason. Or you can look at it out of the positive light and say, hey, there may be some games where you need more defense to start. There may be some games where you need more offense to start. The only player that I think has clearly separated themselves in a battle for the starting small forward is Ayo. And he's the sixth man, right? He's the only player that, to me, the mix of offense, the mix of defense, the consistency, he's done it all. But it seems like the Bulls want to bring that off the bench. He may not start, but he's probably going to be a finisher, which is not bad for a team at all. So if that's going to be the case, that's going to be the case. I'm not mad at that by any stretch of the imagination. The Bulls just gotta figure it out and keep it going. And that's the season, especially the first 15 or so games, right? I don't think you want to go past 20 games until you really kind of know what you have in your team. But the first 10 to 15 games are really just trying to figure out what the hell is your team going to be. That's really what it is. It's really trying to figure out what the hell your team's going to be. And then as you figure that out, that's where some things start changing for you. That's where you start getting some refinement in some things, right? And so we'll see what the Bulls can come out with that one. Terry Silverland says, losing your mind and voice, take care, brother. Oh, I've never had a mind. But no, my voice, I don't know if this is your first year, Terry. I lose my voice at the beginning of every season because your voice, you have to train it, right? And so there's nothing like being in the middle of football season and the start of basketball season, right? Because and now I'm doing live calls during the game, so I'm live for 3 hours during the game with C-Dub. But it's always rough the first week. That's why I wanted to use preseason as my preseason too. And so now after today, we got 6 days into the next game. So I have 6 days to rest up my voice. And then I just gotta, and then I'll be fine. It happens every single year. Every year I've been doing this, it happens every single year. I don't have a voice for after the first week, but now I use preseason to get that out the way. So there you go on that one. Flockavelli says, like when we play a team like Cleveland, we need to be open to maybe using 2 bigs instead of trying to just make the normal starting 5 go up against a disadvantage. Yeah, but I mean, I think we also got to keep in mind that Modest is 6'10". So, with his added strength, and we saw it, right? He played pretty well when Mobley was guarding him, but it does offer you to now you can go even bigger because now you can move Modest to the 3. You can have Jalen and Vooch out there, and now they got to play to you, right? So, when you don't limit yourself to certain rotations, right? When you just don't take the problem with Billy Donovan the last few years is that he's taken certain lineups and rotations and just taken it off the board. Just said, nope, we're not playing that. Now, by opening up your openness and removing the reluctance to do those lineups, it just makes things simpler for you. It streamlines those things. And so that's what Billy Donovan and that's Billy Donovan's growth as a coach as well. I do think Billy Donovan seems like he's grown some as a coach this season. I'm not here to say like let's remove all the doubt that we've ever had about Billy Donovan or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that Billy has gone a little bit of a way to to remove something that's held this team back at times. And it absolutely has held this team back sometimes. Again, I'm not blaming it all on that by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely been a thing and something you can't ignore. So you got that part of it. But outside of that, I want to see Ayo continue his play today. And now seeing how we play off a double big lineup. Josh Giddey hasn't had a lot of opportunities for double bigs. Like now you can run a double pick and roll, which what that does is that allows your point guard 2 different times to quickly survey the field or the court to see where players are moving. And so if you run a double pick and roll with 2 bigs, and then you have Modest as a player that can stretch the floor or cut, and you got let's say Ayo's out there with you that can also stretch the floor some, that everybody got to keep moving. But that gives you something, right? That gives you something else that you can do out there. So that's an important piece of all this too. And so like my basketball mind starts thinking about like if you have double bigs out there, you can do stuff like that, a double pick and roll. You can run a pin down on one side and a screen on the other. And because you have 2 bigs, you can set 2 hard screens that then the team has to think about switching, right? Because are you going to switch on a double big? Because now what are you going to do? One of your guards is going to get caught on one of your guards is going to get caught on a big. And then if that big can attack quickly, what does that look like, right? So it gets the creative juices flowing on what the Bulls can do schematically to kind of give themselves an advantage in certain matchups. And, we'll see. And I could be making too much of this. For all I know, we could go through it and Billy Donovan could do this once and we never see it again, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But I think with all the players that we have on this roster and all the different looks that we can legitimately throw out, that you have to think about, does it benefit your team to have a more open rotation? Meaning that you're still going to have your favorite guys like Trey, Ayo, Zach Collins. They're still going to be in the rotation, but if you're more flexible on depending on what that matchup is on any given day, kind of varying what you're going to do out there, it just gives more players opportunities. It gives you a lot of things to do, and so let's hope that we can see that. And you think I haven't been drinking tea and honey every day? I've been drinking tea and raw honey all day today. It can only do so much. Like those things help, but they don't reverse everything. Like my voice is still gonna go out, man. Rob says, "Gotta rest the golden pipes," as Stacy would say. Yeah, I mean it comes with the territory, man. And I'm here by myself on most of these shows. I do 5 daily episodes of Bear Central completely solo. I do 7 daily episodes of Bull Central completely solo. Like for example, last week, again, back in game mode with live, I did 10 live streams last week and 7 daily episodes. That's 17 episodes just on Bull Central last week. And then 6 on Bear Central. So like it just happens, man. It's unavoidable. And then y'all know I be going to hell off sometimes too. So that plays a part in all this as well. I can only do so much, I mean, I'm me. I'm one person. I'm me. But I will say because of that, I'm probably only going to do a 20-minute pregame show today rather than our normal 30, just so I can have some more time, get some tea, get some, chill a little bit before we go into the live call for today. We have 95 heads in here. It's from Blade Green. Who can come up with the best nickname for Boo? Listen, I just not Lil Boozy Vert. I hate that nickname. That nickname is so trash. It's so trash, bro. Been trying to think of a good one, but I can't. Listen, his name is Modest. It's just like me. I go by Haize. My name is Cordero. Like, if I wanted to use my name to podcast, nobody else is going to have my damn name. I don't even need a nickname. Like, his name is Modest. That's a cool-ass nickname. You can call him Boozy. You can call him Booze, but Booze kind of reminds you of Carlos Boozer. But like I feel like nicknames have to be something that come naturally. Like you can't force a nickname. Because when you try to force a nickname, then it may not fit, right? That's my personal opinion. And, I hate Little Boozy Vert. Little Boozy Vert is so trash. That's a trash, lame ass nickname. And I love Stacey King. Stacey King, that's the homie. But that's a trash ass nickname, objectively. Well, maybe not. Maybe that is more subjective than objective. Maybe I want to use the word objective there. Yeah, that's probably what I want to use there. But yeah, it's trash, man. It's a trash ass nickname, bro. It's so much better that we can do. So much better. The bank note Chicago says, "Oh hell, my boy Haize dying. We finna lose." I'm not dying. I feel fine. It's literally just my voice going out because I've been talking so much with all the live streams. I feel 100% fine. I'm in no pain at all, like zero pain. It doesn't hurt at all. It sounds like it hurts. But, I mean, this is what C-Dub sounds like every day. This is what C-Dub sounds like every single day. So, can I really complain about it? No, I can't. Like I said, I'm not. If I was in pain, I wouldn't try to fight through pain. But I'm just hurt. I'm not hurt. It's just, my voice is a little raspy right now. A little raspy. I'll be fine though. I'll be fine. I'll get through the weekend. I don't have to do, other than my daily episodes, I don't have to do anything until we take the court again in 6 days. So I'll be perfectly fine. Rob says, tough preseason schedule too. Not that it matters, but teams they play this year are playoff teams last year and took this year. Yeah, oh yeah, the start of the schedule is tough. What is it? It's like, what is it? Detroit, Magic, Atlanta are like a three. That may not be in order, but I think those are our first three teams coming out the gate. The Bulls, now it does get easier at some point too, but the season is not starting off easy at all for the Chicago Bulls. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So, hey, and the Bulls got to figure it out early. They've had no Kobe throughout preseason, which means Kobe's going to have to try to find his rhythm going through the regular season. It's how Kobe's going to have to try to find his rhythm, and hopefully he can. It may be a slow start for Kobe, and if it does start off slow, let's try to limit our overreactions. Let's not start calling Kobe White trash or anything like that. All because if he has a slow start where he didn't have a preseason, let's temper that a little bit. Let's not trip on that. We're gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. I promise y'all. It's not gonna be the end of the world if Kobe White has a little bit of a slow start. I promise you that. So, we'll be okay there. We'll be okay. I'm telling y'all. Says, damn Doc Rivers. Fuck you. Fuck you, E. Holiday. God damn it, bro. That sucks. That's crazy. Because it's like a mix between Tibbs and Doc. Damn it, I hate Doc Rivers. Y'all know I hate Doc. How dare you bring up Doc Rivers, you limp dick son of a bitch. No, let me stop fucking with you. It's all love, E. Holiday. But all right, y'all. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm not going to hold this, man. I'll say this. I'm excited to get to the regular season. And whatever happens in this preseason games is what happens. Make it through this game with no injuries. Make it through this game, with that. And I think you're good. Preseason is preseason. I know there's going to be a lot of people overthinking if the Bulls finish 2-3, if the Bulls finish 3-2, whatever it is. I think what you really want to take away from preseason is the performance, the style, those type of things, and some of the things that Billy Donovan talked about this offseason. Physicality, better defense. The Bulls have done that. Growth from Adas Buzelis. He looks like he's ready to attack it on offense and defense this summer. Josh Giddey's looked, better in the last two games for sure. Last game was his best game so far. Io looks in midseason form already. Io looks ready to go. We got some things that we still need to figure out as the season goes on. Does Okoro fit the way that the Bulls hope that he fits with Kobe and stuff out there? We'll see, right? But, we'll see. Forrest, what are you talking about, Forrest? I ain't got no problem for you. What are you talking about, Forrest? I've rocked with you since you started coming here, even before I know you were Julian Phillips' cousin. So we ain't got no problem at all, Forrest. I love you, bro. Like, you're a big supporter here. So let's stop that narrative. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. I tell people know that who I don't like. It's definitely not you, Forrest. You know I got mad love for you. I don't know where that came from. Forrest out here giving false narratives, bro. Don't listen to the. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so excited for the season, excited for this game. Let's see if the Bulls are going to rock out. I think they're going to have a really good chance to do some stuff this season. I think the Bulls are going to be good this season. I really do believe that. I know I'm one of the more optimistic Bulls fans. Not everybody is. I get that. I understand that. It is what it is there. I'm very, very optimistic about what this team could be. I just am. I look at this team and I say they have not gotten any worse than what they were last season. They've taken a step up in the right direction. And, I think things are going to be really good for this team this year. But you guys, as always, can let me know how you feel down below. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And I'll see y'all in just a little bit for the live call, so make sure you guys stay in tune with us on the channel. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red, y'all. Peace. And I don't have the outros loaded in OBS, so I can't even play them, but I love y'all nonetheless.